We good to go?
We good?
We live?
Yes, sir.
Episode 2.
Yes, sir.
It's Just Words podcast. I got my guy Wayne McPherson in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's your title?
What's my title?
Chief Marketing Officer?
Chief Marketing Officer, co-owner.
Co-owner.
Financial Investment Group.
A Financial Investment Group.
Yes, sir.
FIG. Mr. Build Wealth Break Curses.
That's me.
Yeah, y'all know my guy. We gonna get into some deep stuff today. But before we get into that and start pissing people off, I want to cover this again.
Let's do it.
It's Just Words, all right? Where the It's Just Words title comes from. Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, became a man in the 90s, all right?
You was born in the 70s?
Shut up. So
Shit.
we grew up in the era where your mama would play the dozens with you, okay? Your grandmama would play the dozens with you. And you better understand in the streets, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So this here is
Words
not
could get your ass beat, though.
but it was going to shoot a fair one, though. You was going to square up. You was going to take that L. And you might fight that dude 3-4 more times in that summer.
You got to.
But it was what it was. But the next day, y'all going to be outside riding bikes. And playing freeze tag.
He got to give me 3 out of 5.
He got to get you 3 out of 5?
3 out of 5.
All right. But look, we here. We got some good stuff to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, my man, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Alexander Wayne McPherson.
Yes.
Was born.
He was born this past Saturday, October 16th, 5:45 p.m.
All right.
Yes, sir.
That's what's
yes,
up.
Sir. Yeah, 4 days old, and I'm here with your ass.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I love you, brother.
Hey, I love you too,
we go
sir.
back to the sandboxes.
Hey, we do.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with men telling each other they love each other, man. You know, you just can't be having no soft caress. You can't be.
First of all, the soft caress.
It can't be no embrace.
No,
it's
no,
gotta
man.
be like a strong grip.
It gotta be like a quick slap on the back hood.
But damn,
Yeah, man.
I'm going back to 2000. When was we on with My Loud? 2014.
Yes, yeah, man.
All right.
That was Johnny Manziel era.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Johnny
2014.
Manziel.
Ooh, yeah.
You remember
My biggest
Tyrone from
failure.
Painesville?
Yeah.
That's Tyrone from Painesville.
No, it was for Pepper Pike.
Pepper Pike.
Oh, for real?
That was me.
Tyrone from
That was
Pepper
me.
Pike. He
Hey,
used
man.
to call into every episode.
Yo.
That's Tyrone.
Hey man,
from Pepper
I've been meaning to talk to you about that, man. I was gonna beat your ass back then because y'all used to hang up on me and shit.
every episode because you was on some trash. Every episode,
Oh, shit.
Tyrone from Pepper
I
Pike.
had something to say, man. And y'all
That's
didn't
funny
like
as
that
hell,
I was
man.
from Pepper Pike, and my name is Tyrone.
Ain't no
That was-
Tyrones in Pepper to this day.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Man,
Tyrones.
that was
in
y'all
Pepper
was
Pike.
real biased, man. I'm gonna find a Tyrone in Pepper Pike, man.
The first, last, and everything. First Tyrone and Pepper Pike.
So look, for those of y'all that's on Instagram, on TikTok, I thank y'all for tuning in. You'll be able to watch the full episode. Follow, subscribe, like, and share the 216 Muscle on YouTube. If you got questions, because we about to get into something deep today. If you got questions, you got to go to Instagram and post your questions in the live, all right? So that we can answer your questions, because we about to get into something deep.
Be careful what you ask.
But before we get into that, what we toasting?
Oh,
My man done brought, what you got?
I got the villain.
The villain.
I done brought the goddamn villain.
You get yourself a piece of evil ass.
Man, look.
Woo!
You know what it is.
He got the villain. All right,
man,
so we
listen.
toasting.
Hey, listen, I like to.
Yeah, I got my own glass, man.
Man, I'm not putting none of this in that shit,
I'd
man.
rather be podcasting. Look, it's only 2 things I enjoy doing right now. Well, 3.
Man,
Going to the gym and hitting the weights and podcasting. That's my focus
shit.
right now.
man, listen,
But,
I don't
you know.
even know. Is this a mug?
It's a mug.
Oh my God, man! Listen,
Don't do that.
Hey, listen, what we gonna do is, man, I like to toast to.
Now, what kind of alcohol is this?
So this is a cognac.
Cognac.
This is a cognac. This is
Okay.
actually a brand is a new brand that's endorsed by Rick Ross.
It's dark.
It's dark. Hey,
That's what is that? A
man,
shot?
first of all, that's what you get when you come out here with a goddamn mug instead of a.
Can I get it? That smell good.
You like that?
Mm.
All right, let me put you a little bit more in there. Yeah.
I ain't even tasted it yet, but
Hey
hold
man,
on.
let me tell y'all, if y'all ain't got a chance to check out this villain, you know what I mean?
All right, so
Hey,
we're going to
check
do
this
this.
out.
we're going to do this right on the air, and I'm going to give y'all my taste test on the villain. So, Rick, if it sucks, I'm going to let you know.
Hey, to
It
success.
smells nice, though.
Hey, to anybody out there, man, you're doing your thing, man. Hey, I applaud you.
Salute.
Toast to you as well. Salute.
Congrats on the baby.
Hey,
Yes,
and
sir.
toast to my young
Congratulations,
man.
brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
What's the
damn.
review? What it tastes like?
Hey,
What's
That
it
sound
taste?
like she going to get 3
Grab
rounds.
the other glass, man. Get
That tastes like she gonna get 3 rounds.
Hey, man, let me tell you. Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, that tastes like 3 rounds right there.
3 rounds?
That tastes like 3 rounds. Woo-wee.
Hey, it's legit, man. Go ahead, y'all pour up.
Good look, bro.
Hey, that's good.
I'm gonna bring y'all some black and gold cups. We gotta get rid of them red cups.
Y'all gotta try this out.
We gotta get rid of them Shaw cups. We can get y'all some Heights cups. All right, so
Some yellow cups.
I'm gonna get y'all some yellow cups.
Some gold joints.
So we about to get into something deep tonight, y'all. So we know in society, people always view things from their perspective and their point of view. Can I get them a little backstory, a little history?
Hey, man.
All right.
How raw we getting?
So my man here, I felt like he was good to bring in to talk about this subject because at a young age, children out of wedlock.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Lot of
Not necessarily the best baby mama situation.
Nah.
Married another child in wedlock, since divorced and remarried,
Yeah.
and now a child. So you have some experience with having children outside of wedlock, in wedlock, and with multiple women.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the things we're gonna get into tonight, and it kind of speaks to a bigger picture of fairness in society or double standards or things of that nature. But for any of the fellas out there, any of the women out there that have dealt with the child support system, the mic is open for you guys tonight. So if you got questions, if you got comments, again, you can post them live on IG. I'll see them right here. We'll read them on the air. Big Dev is going to be able to pull up some of the comments that were posted to my IG page at 216 Muscle. But this is what sparked tonight's conversation.
My bad. Pull it up.
Much talk about a woman's body, her choice, and like that.
Yeah.
My question is, if we give a woman the right to opt out of motherhood,
Right.
should we also give a man the right to opt out of fatherhood and 18 years of child support?
I agree. You don't agree?
No, I don't know.
But if a mom walks into an abortion clinic and says, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and gets an abortion, the dad has no say. How come this mom can't? Let's just say it's a one-night stand. Just hypothetical. And the mom comes back to the dad and is like, hey, I'm pregnant. Why can't he opt out if she was able to say, hey, I don't want this baby? It's a double standard.
Well, he could obviously sign his rights away, but he cannot physically make
He can.
somebody
He
have
can't.
an
But he
abortion.
can't sign his rights away because he has to pay child support.
I mean,
He is legally bound by child
to be
support.
honest, that's just the way it is.
I know, but do you think it's
You
right?
You can't tell a woman to have an abortion. Like, that's it.
I know, but do you think it's right that a mom can say, I don't want this baby, but a dad never can?
I mean, I just think that's just the way it is.
Much talk about a woman's
So, all right. The subject is, or at least this is where we starting when we talking about societal norms, fair or not fair, double standards. So I'm going to open it up to you right out the gate. You just heard this is 2 women discussing this. One is on the side of she feels like a man should be able to say, hey, I don't want this child. If you want it, you have it. It's your responsibility. And the other woman disagrees, saying that along with a woman's right to choose, no matter what she chooses, the man has to accept her choice because, of course, woman's body and women's rights. What's your views and your thoughts on that? We gotta take
Let's
a
clear
break.
the air. Take
We
a
gotta
shot.
break. Hold on.
Take a shot.
Oh, man. All right, so,
Did somebody turn the heat on in here?
man, you like the villain?
Yo, it's good stuff, bro.
Hey, man.
Don't be
So-
trying to change the subject.
Hey, how the liquor taste?
I'd lick and taste. Listen, so I'm gonna be fair about this. I'm not gonna dive off the deep end. I'm gonna be fair. It's so many different variables to this topic, and that's what makes it so difficult because. And it kind of like ties into like how I feel about the child support system as a whole, as how corrupt it is. Because I feel like in a lot of ways, they kind of like got it standard across the board. They don't treat every situation different. And when it comes to this, like so a woman can make a decision to have an abortion, keep the baby, whatever it is. We have no say so in that. But then it comes down to it where we don't have no say so as far as if we want to take care of the child or not. So now let's look at it like this. The reason why I say it's so many different variables is because you got situations where you get a man and a woman that come together. The man and the woman, they not married or nothing like that. They choose to sit up there and have this baby together, but then things don't work out. And then next thing you know, things go a different type of way. Then you got the situations like, well, no, I don't want you to have the baby. Well, I don't need you. We'll be okay. I'll take care of my baby on my own. We don't need you.
And then
then next thing you know,
later, she put
next
you
thing
on
you know,
papers.
you on child support and everything like that. So, and then it's like, how do you differentiate which situation is the right way to go about handling it? You know what I mean? So like,
let's get to the basic question. The question that's really posed though is, should a man have a choice to opt out of that child's life? Not just physically, but financially.
I think a man should have a choice dependent on the situation, and that's what makes it so delicate. But if I had to pick one, I would have to say that the same way that she has a choice to say that I'm going to have the baby or not have the baby, he should have a choice to either be there in the baby's life or not be able to be in there in the baby. Because ultimately it kind of like he's a deadbeat,
Either way,
you know what I'm saying? But oh man, my God, man! Like it's just tough because there are different situations that kind of make the situation different. You got some women that don't believe in abortion.
So I'll tell you this.
You know what I mean?
And you have some women that don't believe in contraception either.
That too.
So now, which that's a whole nother subject, men as well. But let's go to this. I know of a situation personally where a woman got. Look at the Brittany Renner situation, where she got into a relationship with this man, got married with this man, had a child with this man, and then immediately filed for divorce. And now she's getting what, 200 stacks a month, 200,000 a month in child support. But he rich, and to quote Pulp Fiction, if you've ever seen anything about Brittany Renner, he should have fucking known better.
He should have known better.
He should have fucking known better. But he did it, and now he got to pay that price. I'm going to give you this. He has the financial means to fight for custody if he wanted to.
To fight for custody, but then
if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But I know of a situation where we're talking about an everyday Joe working a normal 9-to-5 that ain't got money to be taking nobody to court to fight for this, that, and the third, where this woman got with this man. They were in a relationship for about a year. She let him live at her crib, got pregnant, kicked him out of the spot, and then would not let him be a part of his child's life. And he didn't have the financial means to fight for it.
Stop right there. So I want you to pay attention to what you're saying right now. So men, we don't have a choice when it comes to having to pay child support. Matter of fact, we don't even have to be tested to even have to be considered to be the father. All they got to do is say we the dad, and if we don't show up to be able to say, hey, let me take this test to prove I'm not the father, you're the father.
Don't be married. Don't be married.
But check out what he said. But check out what he said. So we automatically go on child support, but we gotta. He said he has the means. He's rich. He has the means to fight
to get off child support.
To get custody.
Right. Right.
So check this out. You can automatically have to pay to take care of a kid, but you have to go and pay to go to court and go and file and do all of this stuff and get all of this money involved just to be able to get your rights to actually be a father. Yep. Ain't that the craziest shit you ever heard?
Now, 2 weeks ago, we had Bounty Tank on, and he touched on the topic a little bit, but he has an episode on his YouTube page where he goes deep into his situation and, you know, all the money he's had to spend and everything he's had to do to fight for custody. So let's look at the flip side of this, because everybody's going to look at this from the side of the man that's the deadbeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what
about the man that wants custody?
And what about the
man?
What about the deadbeat moms that really can't even take care of the kids?
That's where I was gonna go with it.
But
that's where I was gonna go with
all
it.
Right.
The man has to fight, show, and prove above all else, and really have to tear this woman down and paint her as the worst possible person in the world to try to gain custody if she doesn't want to give it to him.
I bet you, I know it's some women that's watching this right now that's looking like not only my body, my decision when it comes to the abortion, but I bet you a lot of y'all sitting out there like, well, we the ones that carried the baby, and we the ones that had the baby, and we the ones that get to keep the baby and everything like that. So you should have to take care of the baby if that man don't decide to be around and everything like that, because you get all of the decisions. So and let me say this. I don't want to let this go. I don't want to let this go across the board or whatever, because this don't apply to everybody. But you motherfuckers know who y'all is out there. Y'all know who y'all is, because I'm not about to play the game where, you know, I say one thing or whatever and then they like, oh man, I'm some type of chauvinistic person that I hate women and everything. Because, you know, a lot of that's what a lot of them do, whatever. When you speak certain truths about certain stuff and you know, when the hit dog get hurt, next thing you know, the narrative get changed, and then next thing you know, they want to, oh, he hate black women, and you know, it start turning into stuff that ain't even being spoken about. But no, there are some good women out there that did right, that, you know, or hey, you might have even made the decision to have a child by somebody that you thought really loved you and everything was supposed to work out and everything like that. And if it didn't, and then y'all split up, and then he decided, oh man, you got a new dude or whatever, I ain't doing nothing for the kid, you know, and you know, you got to do what you got to do. I support that. But then on the flip side, you got like, hey, y'all to split up, and then he like, hey, I'm taking care of my kid, but then he got a new chick, and you like, hey, you better not bring that bitch around my kid. And then next thing you know, you want to use the kid as a pawn and everything like that. You know, kill yourselves. But anyway, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I don't care. You can't whip my ass. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hey,
I don't care. That's how I feel or whatever, because the reality of it is that the same way that I feel about this, there's a lot of other men that feel like this, but more importantly, there's a lot of women that feel the same way that it is that I feel, because, hey, man, like you got some women that's doing the right thing, and you got some women that's doing the wrong thing. You got good and bad men, you got good and bad women, and they all gonna be addressed.
Okay, so what do you think about the thought process of he should have thought about that before he had sex with her?
Ray Caruso. Oh, no. Can you edit that part out?
No, this is live.
God damn it.
He can edit the post. He can edit it.
No, we ain't editing shit. It's just words.
It's just words, right?
Y'all
Even if
Google,
it's just
y'all
names
Google
too.
Ray Caruso.
No, and I kind of thought about him with the whole Brittany Renner situation or whatever, but man, you know, we can't do stuff like that. But,
no, you can't do
but
that.
Here's what's crazy. You really got women out here that's trying to use dudes as a bag, they call it, man. Like it has become glorified for women to just deal with dudes just to be able to say, you know what, I'm not working no more. I'm going to go ahead and have this baby and use this baby to be able to get a check for the rest of my life where I don't have to do a damn thing. Why is this not a crime? I don't.
So again, what is your thought process on the women saying he should have thought about that before he slept with her?
I agree.
Okay, but why doesn't that same thought process apply to her, that you very well could be sleeping with a deadbeat dad?
Reason why I don't apply to her is because she already knew what the system was before she
That
made
she's
the
gonna
decision.
win in the end.
She knew what it was, and that's so it goes back to what I said originally. We have a corrupt system that all the way around that just it puts us in a bad position. They benefit from it, not all of them,
right?
Because you got some that's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and go to
that's-
child support
so
and still can't get nothing.
The comment that was just posted said that's not most women. It doesn't matter.
No, it's not most
if
women.
it's most women.
No.
If it's only 10% of, I'm gonna use, and this ain't got nothing to do with kids.
Ooh,
Jeff Bezos' wife
this villain is good.
became the richest woman in the world just off the fact that she was married and divorced Jeff Bezos. She didn't do anything, never worked at nothing. Amazon was started before they got together, but just on the fact that she was married to Jeff Bezos, she became the richest woman in the world upon their divorce. The Brittany Renner story, even if it's only 5 or 10%, which honestly I think is more than that, where women are
no matter what the percentage
securing
is,
the
it shouldn't be
bag,
allowed.
what protections and laws are in place to protect men from financial predators?
The same thing happened to old boy, the Kardashian dude, Rob Kardashian.
Exactly.
With the black China chick.
Yep.
Oh.
Can I say something real quick?
Please do.
Real quick. I'm going to just throw this in here. I'm going to throw a bomb and walk out. All right?
Uh-oh.
I'm not comparing it to this, right? But the majority of men don't beat women, right?
Right.
But the effects of one man beating a woman can have a ripple effect over every
And the
single
laws
man.
are so
slanted, and it has
to protect women from the very few men.
So we don't need all the women to
do that. That is a perfect analogy,
it is.
because there are very few men that put their hands on women.
Yep.
But the laws are heavily slanted to protect those women from the men that do.
Yep.
There are very few women. The percentages are small of women that are out here taking advantage of men financially, using their children and using their bodies for these means, but the laws are not set to protect men from those predators.
And wait a minute, hold up. Whoever that person was, I want to say this directly to you. You're talking about the percentage. I don't give a damn about the percentage. And here's the reason being. Look at the world we live in now. Look at how social media is. When did we ever live in a world where it was glorified to do the stuff that it is that women do nowadays? It wasn't like when you could just get naked and like just all the stuff.
It was always glorified. I mean, we was going to strip
It
clubs.
wasn't glorified by.
We was going to strip clubs in high school, Wayne. Stop.
We was going to
Stop.
Listen. It was strip club. Listen. The nudie bar was glorified by men.
But right on Euclid Avenue.
But you're saying not about women.
What not by women?
That's
the same
true.
way.
That's true.
That's what I'm
because before the Make It Rain era started, if you pulled out a camera or a phone in the strip club, you was getting tossed out that boy like Jazzy Jeff on Fresh Prince.
But here's my point.
They did not want to be videotaped, so I agree on that.
But the point of where I'm trying to go with this is that with the world that we live in now, that percentage that she's talking about is starting to rise.
It's growing.
Everything is starting, like that type of behavior is glorified to the point where it's like now everybody like, man, you know what? Let me be
talking about the office.
We talking about the office. We
go way back.
Listen. I was 16 in Lynn Rocks. Don't get me started. But oh my God, don't let no
Lynn Rocks.
I was 21.
They had pregnant girls in their dance.
No, you were 16.
I was 16. All right. But the point is that the world that we live in right now, these examples that's being set, it ain't like everybody like, oh man, she wrong for that. You know what happened?
They applauded.
More women went and got surgeries. They went down to Miami. Was like, man, hold on, let me go get together, get my butt, get my boobs or whatever, and let me go ahead and find me an NBA player or whoever it is that got money, so I can go ahead and tell him I love him. Go ahead, let him go ahead and squirt in me. And guess what?
Wait, you squirting?
Huh?
You squirt?
Do I? Huh?
You mean ski?
You mean ski?
Ski? I don't squirt. I don't know about you, but I don't squirt.
I said the wrong word.
You said squirt.
I said squirt. Okay.
Yeah, squirt.
Well, whatever it is that they do, they do it. They do it. Damn it. And then next thing you know, they go and give birth to the bag. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all
now,
even
I have a
y'all even
question.
like these kids?
I have a question. Should her previous post, where she was openly talking about how dumb athletes are, she basically put a tutorial.
It was premeditated. It was premeditated murder.
Why is that not considered premeditated? And why is she getting? First of all, what child needs $200,000 a month? First of all, because that is not alimony. That is child support.
Shit.
What child needs $200,000 a month?
Here's what I want to know. Do this work the other way around? Like in a way of like if
I've heard it for alimony. And I'm not saying it's never happened.
Alimony, yeah.
I've never heard of a man getting no huge child support.
No, I mean I'm just saying or whatever. Like if
you got to prove
the
your woman
WNBA, you know what I'm saying? Like
Think about
like
Brittany Griner out here paying big
Griner
bucks.
be like, hey, I love you, baby.
First of all, never mind.
Brittany Griner like, these hoes be at my pockets.
Okay, wait. Can we pick a basketball player that like dude?
I mean, I get it.
No, I'm saying if you.
No, I'm saying she getting taxed for child support.
The point is,
She hit it and quit it. She strapped and quit it.
Is that how would this get viewed if
If
a
a
man
dude was out here
wouldn't be
living.
like, hey, you know what?
Oh, I see. What
And
you're
I'm
saying.
sitting
Not
back.
even going to work.
I'm getting the bag.
Skylar Diggins' husband was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm done.
I'm out. I've been taking care of the kids anyway. You've
I'll
been on
say
the road.
this.
I'm used to this
Is
lifestyle.
he even allowed to even be able to leave with the kids the way that the women do?
I'll say this. Oprah a G. She never married Stedman and never gave him no kids. She said he is not
She
getting
was
paid
stupid.
off me.
Man,
She was
Oprah is
She never married him and never gave him no
Oprah
kids.
is an emotional assassin, man. I tell you, Oprah did it right. Like, man.
Yo. Kevin Federline. But you know what? Kevin Federline is a good example. But Brittany went off the deep end.
Yeah, Brittany shouldn't have never
So
went crazy
again,
like that.
good call out, Rome. But what again this speaks to is you have to prove that this woman is so unfit to take care of these children. I'm talking about if an everyday woman handling her business went to court and an everyday man handling his business went to court. All things being equal, 90 and nothing's 100%. 99.999 is like a COVID vaccine. 99.999% of the time, they're gonna see in favor of the mother.
Yeah, I went through this real quick. I went through it because my oldest was living with her mom and my parents, and I'm like, I'm pretty much footing you living in my parents' crib. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I had a consultation with a lawyer. He said, listen, unless you can prove that she is actively selling her body, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to take your money. All they got to prove is that you are alive and you got to pay. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the example that he was given.
So he kept 100 with me. And
in the beginning. So that's what we're talking about. That's where we're talking about the double standard or fairness. It's not. We're not even arguing for the deadbeat dads.
No, hell no.
Even though the original question was, should a man have the right to opt out of a child's life the same way a woman does? But what about the dads that want 50-50 custody?
What I'm trying to figure
fight
out
that
is
they have to go through.
why do moms, like, first of all, if he could pay if you can get $200,000 a month from this man to take care of the child, why ain't the child just automatically going with the father? Like that, those are the things I don't understand. Like, so
clearly I could afford a nanny out this month.
Now I want to share another situation. Like, for example, my ex-wife, we had a whole divorce decree. Everything was laid out. She decided to move to another state.
Nothing you can do about it.
It wasn't nothing I could do about it. Now, there are certain situations where, you know, some situations
you gotta be a deadbeat.
But you would have had to go to court. And
I gotta go to court and
Yeah.
I gotta sit up there and pay an attorney. And then even the attorney said, when it comes down to it,
She can go.
you could probably still lose this and she could still go. And it's like, we got the paperwork right here, the stipulations of the whole decree, the whole visitation, everything.
Because the jurisdiction is now taken over by the new state. Like, you got to go through it, bro. I've gone through it. My daughter lives in Atlanta, bro.
Hey, did y'all know that the child support office get paid when they come for you for child support? Single they have service fees. Like, every single time that transaction,
just like probation.
all those
There's
transactions,
fees.
man, they don't give a damn about these women getting their money. The only time that they give a damn about women getting child support is if she's on some type of assistance where she's getting money from them. Other than that, they are getting paid every single time a transaction comes through that office. Like, because think about it, that's why they always push to be like, well, no, you know what? Y'all shouldn't do your own thing or whatever. You should just come through. They want you to go through the child support office to be able to get paid and everything like that, because they make money off of that. Like it's crazy.
So now we're gonna switch subjects a little bit. We're gonna take this, and I want you to talk to the people a little bit about, because this is where this kind of starts. First of all, where by the time we get to this point, why are we squabbling over this money? Why is this even an issue? I mean, it's an issue in all communities, but we talking, why is this an issue in our community. Let's talk about, since I got you here, let's talk about financial literacy.
Well, let me put on my other hat.
But I don't want to forget about this subject. Are there any ways, and this is something that may not apply to FIG or things that they've looked at this point, that men can insulate themselves for these type of situations that may come up in life?
So this right here ties more to the whole message of the build wealth, break curses.
Let's go.
Because
with that.
a lot of people, they hear the build wealth, break curses thing, and they think that it's just tied to finances. Build wealth, break curses is tied to life. It's tied to these type of situations like this. It's tied to upbringing. It's tied to broken homes from divorce. It's tied to molestation, drugs, alcohol, violence, all of this. It's tied to all of these things. So, like, when it comes to situations like this, it comes to, what are we being taught? What's being taught in the household? You know, because you could teach somebody about finances, but guess what? Look, we got somebody that's about to pay $200,000 a month in child support. So obviously his situation ain't finances. His situation is that he got wrapped up, because what we need, like for example, with my sons, I'm trying to teach them, don't do like dad did. Like, you can't go out here and just get the slinging and you know, running and gunning or whatever, right? And then next thing you know,
he said squirting. So we're not going to forget.
We talked about the squirt.
He said squirting.
Y'all got to let that go. Yeah, but the thing is, ultimately at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I'm the same way that I'm an advocate for men when it comes to these things. I'm an advocate for people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to teach our sons, we got to teach our daughters all of this as far as how we go about dealing with relationships, you know, when we should be in, because I don't believe that a man should date until he's in a position to even be financially positioned to be able to date for real. That's me personally. Stupid. Yeah, I get it. And you say it's stupid.
I love homies conversations. A nigga be like, man, yo, that's stupid. Yo, niggas say that.
It's stupid until you get the wrong person pregnant, and then next thing you know.
Wait. But see, that's the key.
Hold on. No. Let me finish this.
That doesn't mean, wait, because we got to go with this.
Go ahead.
That's a good point.
Go ahead.
That doesn't mean don't date. That means be responsible. And look, I am a product of a family where my father was going through his apprenticeship, which means he was paying to work, not getting paid to work, living in my mama's apartment off 141st Street in East Cleveland, where she was going to work every day. And then they came together. Eventually, you know, he got out of his apprenticeship. He got a job. They got married, and everything grew, and we moved up to the high rise. No, we didn't.
Yeah, D-Lux apartment in the sky.
All right, so look.
Actually, what happened was, and I tell this story all the time, they had my sister, and they was like, East Cleveland is cool, and then they had me, and he was like, no, my son need better, and we moved to Cleveland Heights.
Hey.
But my point is, if my mother would have had that thought process, I wouldn't be here today.
I don't care about that, Ben. You shouldn't be here today. You shouldn't be here.
But you talking about two people?
You shouldn't be here?
No, neither should I.
That's coming up on 50 years of marriage.
Listen,
2 kids, you know, house, picket fence, all that. Whatever.
So let me be fair. Let me say this. Can people get together young when they are not established and be able to build together and everything like that? Absolutely, they can. But here's what I'm saying. People can sit up there and have a great pullout game, and then next thing you know, mess around and get somebody pregnant.
You talking about pulling out? There are other things you can do.
Let me give you my point of what I'm trying to say here. When I say that I don't feel like people should date until they're in a financial position, that's not me saying that it can't work.
But what if 2 people meet in college? You shouldn't date in college?
Listen. As far as
I want your answer to that question, though.
Okay.
You shouldn't date in college?
Understand what I'm talking about when I'm saying that you
talking about grown folks.
You got people that's
okay.
You got people that's dating with purpose that ain't got their shit together.
Right. You talking about grown folks.
Right. Like if you young and even when you young, even with growing together, that it's a certain type of way to go about doing that.
But that's also a societal switch that's happened between not even our parents' generation, I'll say our grandparents' generation to now. Because with our grandparents' generation, That was the last generation where a single income household could lead, take care of, provide for a household where that was common. So whether it was the man or the woman, and again, at that point in time, more times than not, it was the man, would get up every day, go to work. A lot of cats didn't necessarily go to college. They went into the trades. They went into trucking.
He's going in the direction.
They went into different things like that. So they were in a position, even at a young age.
And the problem is we don't live in those times anymore.
So with that,
that's where I'm kind of going with this. That we don't live in those times anymore, and that's the reason why you got your Brittany Renters and you know, or you know, you got people that's not people not growing together no more. Man, like think about when y'all go on social media. When you're on social media, I don't know who y'all followers is or who y'all follow, but if you look at the topics of discussion when it comes to relationships, these is the stupidest discussions in the world. Should a man and a woman go 50-50? What? 50-50? What is we talking about here? They talking about, they talking about roles and man, listen.
It's a relationship. Whatever you got to do to make it work.
Whatever works for you, works for you.
Whatever works for you, works for you. Like we live in a world where they trying to tell you. You got a bunch of people that don't know nothing about relationships sitting up on social media telling people how relationships are supposed to be.
I've been seeing
and
a
I'm
lot
like,
a lot of people that post this stuff. I've been seeing your responses to that lately have evolved to whatever worked for those two people.
Yeah.
Whatever worked for those two, whatever worked for that man, whatever worked for that woman. Everything is not black and white. There are so many shades of gray. For example, I believe a household should be able to survive with a two-person household should be able to not just survive, should be able to thrive with just one of those person's income. The other person's income can be rainy day, vacation, retirement. If you can live off just one income, you are setting yourself up in life. Once that house is paid off in 30 years, now you got two incomes, bill free. All you paying is your taxes and utilities. You're talking about living a good life. But that's just my point of view.
You could do it. You could do it if you could.
Here's the thing, though. So, like, now, I don't disagree with that if that's what works for you.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, this man, he makes enough money to be able to do everything that he just said for a 2-bedroom house in Cleveland. He can do it.
What if you move to New York City on the Upper East Side?
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
You get a job in New York.
Hold on. You hear what you just said?
What if somebody else you like,
hey, hear what you just said?
We want it's just work.
Because that's the problem.
We want it's just work.
They
say we want it's just work in Manhattan.
If I got a job in Cleveland or a job in New York, I'm taking the job in Cleveland. But that's because I've done the research on the cost of living and the life you can have.
Hear what he said? He did the research.
A lot of people
you
don't.
telling me if you're gonna pay me $250,000 in New York, I'll take $125,000 in Cleveland all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Because of the cost of living is more than 2 times in New York. So now I've actually lowered my income
I know what you're saying.
and my livelihood by taking twice the money in New York. So
but that right there, just that little piece that he just added to that, that's the problem that it is that I have with these type of topics of discussion when it comes to relationships.
Nuance.
Because it's so many different variables even to that, where it's just like, how can you just sit up there and just, a man should be this and a woman should be this? And it's like based off of what?
Yeah. So the question we got posed is, should that income, based on what I was saying about living off the value of one income, should that income be the man or the woman's income? It doesn't matter. It still doesn't mean we don't go 50-50 on stuff. All I'm saying is we take one of our incomes and that's what we live off of. God forbid if something happens to that income, the other person's income can then pick up the slack if need be.
So now can I go into my financial literacy mode?
Because
can I go into my financial literacy mode?
It's what those two people agree on.
Here's what kills me about people that have these conversations. I don't never hear nobody saying nothing about what are we going to do as far as additional streams of income.
Right.
What are we going to do as far as having assets to make it where the assets pay for everything. And we ain't got to even worry about even working to be concerned about is the man paying this or is the woman paying this or whatever. Y'all working.
But that's a different argument. That's a different argument.
But that's the problem.
Because no matter what community you go to, you will have investors and you will have employees. Every person does not want to be an investor in life. So there's nothing wrong with two people that are just
don't sit
happy.
up there and be going out here, sitting up there just having a blanket statement to try to make it seem like it's supposed to be this way when, again, every situation is different. And that's why I'm a big believer in do what works for you. If you got somebody that has an income that can cover everything and he's like, hey, you can stay at home and don't work, good for you. If it's a situation where...
Whoa. I never said that part.
I ain't saying this ain't about you.
No. Get your ass on.
This ain't about you. This ain't about you. But I'm saying you got something me in this.
No, it's 2021.
Wait a minute, hold on. You
can't give a woman too much free time. She's gonna be messing with
the point is whatever
or the
you
male
got,
man or the male woman. You know,
whatever, Ben.
But what if you a man who you like? I'm like maybe me. You know what I'm saying? Where you are attracted to women who are successful women. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with that?
You know, career-oriented women, because you start having these conversations.
My wife is career. My wife
so
is
you might
an
be
accountant and a real estate agent.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna not pursue you because you could possibly make crazy bread. I respect that. That's attractive to me. Like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And then we will adjust our life according to, you know what I'm saying? Both of our income.
I'm not doing that though.
What's that?
So I could have lived a certain lifestyle based off of two incomes. Mm-hmm. I chose a lifestyle that was sustainable with one.
And you know why that makes sense? Because if something happens, he can still take care of it.
God forbid if something happens to me, you're good. The life insurance is the icing on the cake.
Yes, icing on the cake, yeah.
God forbid if anything happens to me,
she can take a trip.
You're not even just take a trip. You should not miss a beat. Yeah. Not only if something happens to me, should you not miss a beat. If something happens to me, you are now financially thriving because you can maintain all of the bills in the home based on your income, and then you're putting the life insurance or whatever assets I have on top of that. Hey, because I'm not just planning for our generation. We should be leaving. I had this discussion with my parents all the time. When they moved out of the house I grew up in, they sold it out of the family. That pissed me off.
What?
Because property is the number one asset. And I went to my father and I wanted to buy the house. But it was only 2 years after I bought my house. And the argument he gave to me at the time was he didn't want to saddle me with more debt. But at the price he sold it at, I'd have had that boy, with the money I was making at the time, I'd have had that boy paid off in 2 years. So now, when the situation happens where me and my ex split, I could have let her stay in the house we was in and I'd have moved into that one. Boom. And I still own both properties. And that's just, again, owning property. God forbid if something happens to me. I got 2 properties. Both my nephews got somewhere to live. It stays in the just in general. And that property grows over time. Right now, we're in a seller's market.
True.
If I wanted to,
damn right.
I could have sold those two. I could have sold those 2 properties for a windfall.
Oh yeah, you could have.
And cop 4. You know what I mean? Anything.
Wait a minute, but do you hear what he's saying right now? Because see, taking it back to what you said we're going to touch on financial literacy because that's where I was really going with this. The thing is, everything that it is that you just said, you said it's about your family and for generations to come and all this kind of stuff like this. And I'm talking about these discussions that's going on social media. And the reason why I brought up assets and all of these things is because the problem is we're not talking about the right stuff. We're not talking about the like for example, he talking about life insurance policies and everything like that. But guess what? You know, it's a whole lot of people that got life insurance. I actually had somebody that told me, this was not too long ago. I did another podcast, and after the podcast, I was a couple of the guys that was there, their wives was there, and them knowing what I do, they started having a discussion with me about financial literacy. One of the people in the room, I actually mentioned life insurance. They said, I'm not getting no life insurance policy and leaving it behind to my daughter and then she go squander the money. But check this out.
Did you slap her?
Wait a minute, but hold on.
You pile drive me?
Although this was
Slam 'em.
although this was a very ignorant statement, and I mean it for the definition of the word, not to be disrespectful, but it's real. Because think about it. If I sit up there and leave, let's say I leave a policy worth millions behind,
and you ain't talking to
some people that I ain't taught about finances, what do you think gonna happen to that millions of dollars?
Turn
You know
up,
what, though?
it's
I
gone.
still don't.
Turn up,
it's gone.
But in that case, I still don't agree.
You don't agree with what?
If I give a bum on the street $5 and they go put it in their arm, that's between them and God. My heart was still in the right place. Now, financial literacy is important, but that should not be a reason to not leave something behind. Matter of fact, you could leave it in a trust.
Wait, what are you saying? You
could
disagree with her?
That they shouldn't have life insurance for that reason.
No. That's not what I'm saying. You took what I'm saying out of context.
No, I'm saying to them.
What I'm saying is that what I'm saying that I understand about what she's saying, because here I said it was an ignorant statement that she made.
No, I'm saying to them I disagree with that statement regardless.
Yeah, it's a stupid statement because first of all, it makes that person look crazy, because it's like, instead of you looking at it like, hey, ding, light bulb go off, maybe I should look at the fact that I did not teach this person financial literacy and getting them so they won't squander it. You just gotten to the point of just being like, I'm just not going to do it at all.
That's crazy.
Like why didn't the wrong side of your brain is working?
That's like I'm not going to talk about my kids about sexual education, because then they might start having sex.
Yeah.
They're gonna have sex anyway. Now they just
doing it stupid.
Now they just learned about it from the person that just stuck their thing in them.
Yeah.
So you assuming that it's a female?
I mean,
or
I got daughters, so I only think
whatever they identify as, I guess.
Wow.
I'm not going into that one. I'm not going there.
We're not going into that one.
Shout out Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, but the main thing is that I think that we worry about the wrong things, but the reason why we worry about the wrong things is because we don't know what we're supposed to be talking about.
So now, where does that stem from?
That stems from generational curses.
Boom.
Flat out. And that's where the whole build, wealth, break curses thing come from, because the reason why the black community will continue to be the way that it is because we are not learning the things that it is that we need to learn. I put up a post one time. I'm like, instead of being so mad about the rich not paying taxes, I'm like, why don't you learn what it is that they learned about it?
With.
Hey, I know. And we had that talk.
I know.
But here's the thing. But wait a minute. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Because
but
that
wait a minute.
is literally the reason why East Cleveland is East Cleveland.
Hey,
because when you take the tax base out of any city,
he said we
and
weren't
all
going
of
to
the
go into this, but
all of the
going into it.
no, and all of the affluent people leave a community. All that will be left is the disenfranchised with broken down systems that are not supporting the youth coming up in the next generation.
Ben,
taxes.
I get it. I'm not like don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people shouldn't pay taxes. What I'm saying is that people spend more time hating, worrying about what somebody else got going on than they do learning about the stuff that'd be beneficial to them. I ain't even talking about just from a tax perspective, just as a whole, even from a financial literacy perspective. I can sit up there and you know what I'm saying, I can sit up there and look at somebody on social media winning. They living their best life. I'm gonna look at it and be like, that's dope. What can I do to get it? If I'm loving it, well, that's dope. I'm loving it. But you got some people that's gonna be like, ugh, and they're going to try to figure out what they can do to say bad about them to make it seem like they're not deserving of it.
If they putting their money in a tax haven, I'm saying, ugh, because that money is there for a reason, to help support our communities. I'm sorry. No matter how rich I get.
He making it back about taxes.
I'm just saying, that was the example you gave about how rich people
what I was trying to do
out
was
the tax system.
But what I did was
I'm going to always say, I'm going to always hate on their ass. And I'm a hater, and I'm going to admit it.
They know the loopholes.
But guess what? If you want to be a hater, that's cool. But be a hater and still learn.
I'm still,
you know what I'm saying? My
whole
whole thing is educate yourself on the thing, because this is one thing that it is that we like to say all the time in the black community. When we do look at certain stuff that white people do, what do we say? We say, oh, when we learn it, it's always white people been doing this for years. White people been doing that for years. Like, yeah, we complain about all of the stuff or whatever. Like,
start putting your kids in time out.
You got
white people been doing that for years.
What are you
It
talking
works.
about?
It works. I am saying this though.
Time out what is that, a coma?
You got,
What up, Spawn Breezy? What's good, baby?
The small business situation in life, there are some things you can claim on taxes to make that burden a little less. That's all I'm saying.
Look, if you're doing no. If you're doing it for the proper reasons, because the reason those loopholes exist is to put the money back into the business and grow the business.
Oh, okay.
You're
right. You're right.
If you're doing that, cool.
We doing
but
that.
if you take it from your own, and just putting money in your pocket,
that's a fucked up. Yes, you're right. You're right.
That's my view on it.
Hey,
Fuck you.
because
you take it from children.
What you think about this?
Check it, and I'm gonna give you an example. I grew up in Cleveland Heights, right? On Warrensville Center Road, the Jewish community just bought
it's dope.
an entire what used to be golf course. So it wasn't cheap because it was a golf course in Cleveland Heights. And you know what they built? A school.
Yep.
Why we don't do that?
With their own money.
Why we don't do that?
That's my point, though. If you're not reinvesting your money back into the community,
Wait a minute, but what?
Well,
that,
we
so in connection to what he just said, you know the difference? They didn't sit up there and when somebody said, "Hey man, let's put our money together," ain't nobody hate.
I'm not gonna hate on that. That ain't gonna be no hate. But the point is,
but we do. We do. We don't trust each other.
Well, that's true.
We don't trust each other. We can't work together. That's why they call us crabs in a bucket. Even though that that whole
LeBron said that perfectly though. Was it LeBron or Jack?
Yeah. And
that's not a crab's natural habitat. So when you take that animal and put it in an unnatural habitat, the way that they respond is not their natural way. And we are not in our natural habitat.
But I remember driving past that because I live right around the corner from there. And I remember, it's so crazy y'all said that, man, because I remember they started building it, and my daughter, she's 7 now. She had to be like 5 when they started building it. And she's like, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know. It can't be a school because don't nobody build new schools. It was the first thing I said, man.
And it's
I'll be
pissing me
goddamn
off
if it ain't a
because now I
goddamn
got to drive
school.
20 miles per hour up Warrensville Center Road.
Yeah, exactly.
And the kids
Starting
don't
at
get out of school
Walmart.
till 6 o'clock.
We gotta adjust our thinking, man,
Damn.
and it sucks because see, here's the thing. I'm older now. So you already know what happened when we get older and we learn stuff. We always talk about I wish I would have knew this when I was younger. So now that's why my primary demographic when it comes to financial literacy are high school kids because I want to get to you before you get on that college campus and we start shoving credit cards down your throat before you start getting student loans. Guess what? Another thing, when we was coming out of school, now I'm not gonna speak for y'all. I'm gonna speak for myself. I knew college. I knew military. I ain't know about no trades.
No.
We
Shaw, we had trades at Shaw. We had trades
We
at
had
Shaw.
trades at Heights.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say when I say
We had 'em.
when I say I ain't know nothing about no trades, I mean it in a way of like going to trade school gets almost frowned upon as if it's not as good as college.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? When in all actuality, taking a trade is almost more beneficial
Now check this.
than
And
college.
Wayne, you and I have had this conversation. My father was a union painter all his life. He went to the military, served in Vietnam, and he became a union painter. My mother worked at the gas company most of my childhood. One of our boys that we grew up with graduated high school with. Soon as he graduated high school, this dude went and worked at the gas company. If I'm not mistaken,
right now he got about 24 years.
he can retire in 5 years. If I'm not mistaken,
I don't know when he can
and
retire.
has worked his way
Jeez.
all the way up the chain. And these are conversations I've had with my parents. Neither of my parents said, hey, what do you think about the trades? Or, hey, I can get you in at the gas company. Now, neither of those opportunities would have prevented me from going to college like my parents wanted me to. But what it would have allowed me to do was just pay for it out of pocket and not have student loans. Now, I might have turned it down anyway because I had the opportunity to go to the University of Akron for football, this, that, and the third. So I may have, but again, it was never even presented.
He big, but he's soft. He can't play.
It's cool. It was never even presented, you know. So when we talk about our youth and going to school, you know what you see once every semester? College night. You know what you don't see? Trade night. It's not even presented. And
There's
like you
so
said,
many lucrative
y'all had
trades.
trades at Shaw. Now at Heights, we had auto body, But
cosmetology.
Same shit we had. Same shit we had.
Dentistry, but we also had.
No, we had no dentistry.
And it was dental assistant.
We had like hair. We had like hair and nail tech.
But
we
also
was
had
hood shit.
sharing arrangements with Warrensville and Shaker for general contracting and electrical. So you could have graduated. So you could have graduated high school with any of those. But it was never. If you knew about it, we talked about it with the financial literacy. My degree from high school, I was part of a program called Tech Prep. My freshman year in the program, no, it started sophomore year. Sophomore year in the program, we had to open a bank account. That was part of the program. We learned how to balance a checkbook, this, that, and the third. Junior year in the program, we had to start a business from scratch. Damn. So we started a hat and t-shirt business where we were selling Heights apparel at the games. Jeez. And then senior year, that business continued, and at the end of the year, we would dissolve the business, take the funds out, and we had a party for the class. We had a party. They could have.
Shaw said you get a diploma.
But they could have had us take that money, split it up, and make everybody invest in some stocks or something. Yeah. But the point is, we had this program that spoke to an entrepreneurial spirit at that point in high school. I wasn't told about it. Mm-hmm. I was just a curious student that read the damn curriculum book. Look, we didn't have I'm about to get real deep right now and real personal.
Go for it.
We didn't have social media. Kind of talk, we didn't have social media back in the day. So I sat on the toilet and I read this shit. You know how cats spend an hour on the toilet on Instagram? Newspaper. I read the curriculum guide front to back, and I'm like, yo, this is dope.
That is dope, man.
So I told my advisor I wanted to be part of that program when it should have been our advisors telling us to be part of that program. It should have been more than 20 students in that program is what I'm saying. Man. And most students, like we talked about it as adults, none of my friends even knew it existed. Because the counselors didn't.
I had no idea.
Tell them about it.
I had no idea.
So I opened my first business.
He just said it just now.
I started my first business. Well, I started my first business when I was 8. But I learned more about business in high school. And it speaks to the entrepreneur that I am today. But, it all goes back to investing in our children.
Yeah. It does.
Setting a proper mind state. Build wealth, break curses. And I'll say this. It all goes back to what we were talking about from the beginning. If you look at the Brittany Renner situation, the kind of money that she's made as a social media celebrity,
in reality shows.
Why is she getting $200,000? She's a college graduate. There's no reason she shouldn't be going to work. Why is she getting $200,000 a month?
So now let me go back to that. So now it speaks to the fact of what I said earlier. She knew the system, exactly, and she took advantage of the system. She right. So she already knew it. So basically, she did her research. She had knowledge on what she knew she could be able to do, regardless of how grimy that was. But now, on the flip side of it, or whatever, when do we educate ourselves properly to protect ourselves and make better decisions? You know what I mean? With everything to do with when we make better decisions with relationships, making better decisions financially, everything that it is that we come when we start teaching our careers, all of this type of stuff like that. These are the things that FIG is out in the commit. Look, shameless plug. Shameless. But these are the type of things that it is that FIG is trying to get, is going out in the community. Like 2 weekends ago, I'm down at the Juvenile Detention Center. I'm teaching the kids financial literacy. I'm making them go through a financial literacy workshop as an alternative to going and having to go and pick up trash or whatever it is that they might have had to go and do. Why not give you something that it is dope, that you can go and learn? I'm transparent when I'm going and talking to these kids. I'm relating to them because see, all of the things, like a lot of people, I get on their nerves with the stuff that I post on social media because a lot of people looking like, oh my God, here you go again. Here you go again. But see, here's the thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and be transparent again. Every single thing that it is that I'm out here talking about, I'm talking about it because I lived it. You know what I mean? I didn't sit up there and had the multiple women with having kids or whatever. I didn't had to go through them struggles or whatever, and I did it the right way. I didn't sit up there and go and work no under the table job or something like that to sit up there and avoid taking care of the responsibilities. I did it right. I didn't sit up there. I come up in a household, and this no disrespect to the parents that raised me, but the fact of the matter is I was not taught about financial literacy. So like, yes, I've had the bad credit. Instead of looking at me and being like, here you go again, respect the fact that I'm trying to give you the tools to be able to win because I got a chance to learn it, and that's why I'm able to win. So instead of me being selfish with it, I'm trying to give you information as far as your finances, as far as your relationships, as far as everything that I post.
That's real shit, bro.
I'm giving you shit for free.
Hey, check this.
I'm giving you shit for
Y'all
free
better-
to help you improve your
better
life
follow
based off of what I
FIG
was doing.
Invest. Y'all better follow FIG Invest on Instagram and take the game while it's free. Because yesterday's price ain't today's price. And the price is going up,
Hey,
baby.
listen, the price,
so y'all
the price
better
go up
take
every
this
day.
game while it's free. This is the thing. It's free to the kids. Adults got to pay. That's what's
Hey, don't be saying that.
That's what's real.
Kids got to pay too.
That's what's real. But it's awesome that, you know, y'all are giving back to the community in that way. Before we get out of here, talk to me a little bit about what programs FIG has in place, how people can get in contact with y'all. What are some of the things that y'all are doing currently in the community to build wealth and break curses?
Okay, so as I just mentioned, we doing things with the juvenile detention center. We're actually in the process of actually even doing some work with some social workers with Cleveland Clinic. That's something that we're working on. It's not all the way closed, so I don't want to speak prematurely on that. But
Manifesting, that's what you do.
Yeah, well, I'm manifesting that. Also, even with Key Bank and with the NAACP, we got something that's going on with that. We also have a program down in Columbus that we're working with. But our main thing is to go out here in the community, whether you're just because you're a kid you're not a kid don't mean you can't get this information. We have clients that are adults as well, that we don't care what age you are. If you need to learn about money to be able to just get your life in order as far as from a financial perspective, if you got financial goals, we the people that you need to be able to talk to. Now, I do want to be clear. We're not financial advisors. We are financial educators. If you need to learn how to be able to save, budget, if you need to learn about credit or whatever, we're even partnered with Rural Financial Services with being able to get your credit in order. If you need to learn the home buying process, anything that you need to learn, we can do that. As far as from a kid's perspective, we'll teach you everything from those same things that I just mentioned all the way to learning how to be able to buy your first car, learning how to be able to pick your career, learning how to be able to avoid student loans, how to be able to go about learning all of your options coming out of high school as far as those trades that we talked about, anything that it is. And then me personally, I'm going to give it to everybody straight real as far as I'm transparent in a way of like, yes, we have our programs that are kind of like the same across the board. But I'm going to tell you, depending on what your life is, I will custom make it to what your situation is as far as, hey, where you from? What is your situation? What's going on? My thing is I'm looking to help people. This is not about making money. This is about helping the community. So we talked about East Cleveland earlier. This type of information we giving, this is the type of information to build those communities back up. Yeah. That's what FIG is about. This is a community outreach. It's about being able to build the communities back up, and it's starting with our own people.
It's dope.
So, hey, FIG Invest on Instagram.
That's
What's the website?
FIG Invest on Instagram. Our website is www.figinvest.org. If you want to be able to call us, 866 FIG 5757. Let me see. You can even be able to, if you guys want to even support and be able to get apparel, Build Wealth Break Curses, t-shirts, hoodies, everything like that. You can be able to buildwealthbreakcurses.com, and you can even be able to get to that link even through our website with figinvest.org. Hey, that's us. Oh, hey, look, you done already brought it up. There we are.
It ain't going to take but a second. So if y'all go on the actual episode on YouTube, all the links will be in the description for FIG and Build Wealth Break Curses. I want to thank my guest, Mr. Wayne McPherson.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, please do.
One more thing I want to say. Hey, do not be ashamed of your financial situation. You being ashamed of your financial situation is only going to keep you in that same financial situation. And I say that more to our men out there because the most transparent people that it is that I have when it comes to finances are typically women. Men, we too prideful. But guess what? That pride is not going to get you to your financial goals. Call us. Come see us. It's confidential. Ain't nobody got to know. But my thing is we looking to be able to help everybody though. So let's get it done. Let's go out here and let's go ahead and build wealth, break curses. Let's go ahead and build the communities or whatever, and let's do better out here.
Can we get the church drum added in the back? That was the altar call. Won't you come? That was the altar call right there. Do not be prideful. For on the other side,
neighbor,
it's the blood of the lamb.
Neighbor.
Yeah. All right. So Wayne, hey, shoot, I done stepped on the J's.
Man, I'm mad that you playing footsie over there.
I mean, you know, my Chucks is cheap. Man, that's a bad investment.
Swole dude playing footsie up here.
At least I ain't squirting. Bill Wealth, Break Curses, FIG Invest, Mr. Wayne McPherson. I thank you, brother.
I appreciate
and
you.
y'all check out The Villain.
Yes,
man,
sir.
listen.
Yes,
that
sir.
was smooth right there.
It is.
Ooh-wee. I'm going to say that's tonight's sponsor for what's about to happen after this show. Nah, hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in. The full episode will be up this Saturday on YouTube. Make sure y'all go to 216 Muscle on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.